Hey everyone, Jacob Howard here, and in this video we are going to be going over some of the top mistakes that FPV pilots make. Hopefully with this knowledge you will be able to go out and fly with confidence and not make the same mistakes a lot of other pilots make. Number 1, not putting in the simulator time. Probably the biggest mistake that new pilots make is not putting in a good amount of simulator time. When flying your drone, you have to move your sticks in 8 different directions in varying levels on each. If you do the math, that literally adds up to billions upon billions of different combinations. Flying in a simulator will teach you these stick movements in a safe environment where you can make as many mistakes as you want with no consequences. It greatly shortens the learning curve and saves you time, money, and frustration. Number 2, props on wrong. This one even gets experienced pilots sometimes. You plug in, arm your drone, go to take off, and it flips out. The likely reason for this is that the props are on wrong. On a normal drone setup, the props will spin in towards the camera in the front and in towards the middle in the back. If you just put a fresh set of props on, it's good to double check or triple check the props to make sure they are on correctly. Number 3, too fast, too soon. Flying fast can be a lot of fun, but as a beginner, we recommend you take it easy. Flying fast will have the ground and objects coming at you at high speed. If you're not used to this and can't react quickly enough, you can end up crashing a lot. Crashing at higher speeds will often break props and other components, costing money and time. One of the best ways to slow down is to drop your FPV camera angle down. Starting out 10 degrees of up tilt will be pretty easy to handle, and as you get better, you can slowly raise it up, which will naturally increase your speed. Number 4, hitting objects and obstacles. Flying through gaps is an important and fun skill to learn, but when you're just starting out, you need to pick them carefully. The more solid the object, the more dangerous it is to your drone. It's best to find gaps that if you crash, it will do the least amount of damage. Tree or bush gaps are better because the leaves and smaller branches have a lot more give to them. You want to start out with large gaps, then slowly work your way down to smaller ones as you gain more confidence. Also, while learning, it's best to fly over grass. Pavement and concrete are very unforgiving. Number 5, flying in stab mode. When starting, it may seem easier to fly in angle or stabilized mode. The problem is, it'll teach you bad habits that will be hard to break out of. FPV flying is really about the freedom to move and control your drone at any angle, but in stab mode, you are very limited in the way it can fly. You can only pitch and roll so many degrees. This limits your range of motion, and if you are flying in windy conditions, you may find it very hard to fly against the wind because of the limits to your movements. It's okay to fly in stabilized mode, but you definitely want to learn acro mode as soon as possible. Next, we have number 6, lack of props. When starting out, you will be crashing a lot. It's just part of the learning process. The most common part that will break on your drone is the propellers. This is actually a good thing because props are fairly inexpensive and absorb a lot of the impact so that other parts of the drone don't get damaged as much. Oftentimes, if a prop gets bent, you can just bend it back into place and keep flying. But if one breaks, you will definitely need some spare props to replace the broken ones. So it's good to purchase 4 or 5 packs of spare props before you start flying and take them with you when you go out to fly. It's also good to get the same type and brand of props so that they will be compatible with each other. This will save you the time and hassle of changing out all the props if only one needs replacing. Number 7, not taking tools with you. It can be super frustrating if you're out flying, you crash and break a prop, and you find out that you forgot your prop tool. Or if you find a loose screw on your frame or motor, you find out you don't have the screwdriver for it. That's why it's a good idea to always take some basic tools along with you when you go out to fly. A prop tool or 8mm wrench, some hex drivers, size 1.5mm, 2mm, and 2.5mm, a pair of needle nose pliers, and some electric tape and or zip ties can really come in handy in a pinch and save you from having to cut a flying session short. Number 8, flying too far away. Unless you are specifically setting out to go test the limits, it's not a good idea to fly too far away from yourself. Flying too far away has a few different risks, such as getting a failsafe where your drone loses connection with your transmitter, losing the video link and not being able to see where your drone is going, or running out of battery and being unable to fly back. Depending on where you're flying, in all 3 scenarios, you risk losing a drone or possibly injuring someone or something. Number 9, not learning line of sight flying. Line of sight flying is a good skill to learn. If for some reason you need to take off your goggles and fly it back, you need to know how to orient yourself and keep the drone under control. When flying line of sight, it's sometimes easier to fly in stabilized mode until you really get the hang of flying line of sight. So having the different flight modes set up on a switch on your controller can really help. Number 10, buying the wrong parts. It's worth putting in the time to do a little research on parts you're planning on buying. Whether it's for a new build or replacement parts for your current drone, you will want to make sure they have the correct specs and that they will fit your drone. When in doubt, you can always ask someone in the community. Number 11, forgetting to check VTX antennas. The video transmitter, or VTX, on your drone transmits radio waves with radio energy measured in milliwatts. The higher the milliwatts, the more energy it puts out. This energy is meant to be transmitted through an antenna. But if you forget to install a video transmitter antenna when you plug in your drone, that energy that is meant to be dissipated through the antenna could be reflected back into the video transmitter, possibly causing it to overheat and damage its circuitry. So always make sure you have the video transmitter antenna installed on your drone before you power it on. Number 12, flying into an unknown area. It's always fun to fly in and explore new areas with your drone, but if you don't take a few minutes and familiarize yourself with the area, you may take off, start flying, and get lost in the air. You might not remember where it was you took off from. Things can look very different from the air, so it's good practice when going out to fly to wear bright clothing and take off near an easily spottable landmark such as your car or a large tree or rock. Take a minute or two to check out the area, plan on where you want to fly, and watch out for any areas where you might fly out of line of sight. Number 13, flying without a beeper. A beeper is one of the most basic tools you can have for finding your drone. If you crash in a tree, tall grass, or in bushes, having a beeper set up so you can activate it with a switch on your transmitter can literally save your drone from being lost. Some drones like the Emax Hawk Pro come standard with a beeper, but oftentimes you have to buy them and install them yourself. We recommend that if you're buying your own beeper that you get a self-powered beeper. A self-powered beeper has its own little battery, so in the event of a bad crash where the main flight battery gets ejected off the drone, it will start beeping automatically and keep beeping until its battery runs out. These beepers can last anywhere between 5 to 8 hours and gives you a lot of time to locate your drone. And there you have it, the top mistakes we see FPV pilots make. Definitely take note of these and don't be the next victim, and let us know how they helped. And of course, if you have any questions, definitely let us know, and have fun flying.